Here with Willem Dafoe, and we want to talk a little bit about the difference between acting in theater, which Willem's done a lot of, and acting in film, which he also has done a lot of. So I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. It's a big question. It's difficult to answer because there's all kinds of films, there's all kinds of theaters, and with every film particularly, I find like your process is always different, and the kind of performing you have to do is different. But the one thing that's fairly consistent that sometimes people don't talk about is, for me, a huge difference between film and theater is the activity of doing theater is so much regardless of what kind of theater you're doing. You're creating a score, and your biggest job is reanimating that score every night, refinding the rhythm, refinding the life,
right.
Making that illusion of it happening the first time is so strong. Well, you don't have that in film so much, because whether it's a big film or a short film, you're often dealing with first impulse. You're at a location, you're seeing it for the first time, you're going to live in that place for one day. You may have an idea of what has to be accomplished in the scene, but actually living and creating associations and emotional associations with being in that place are very potent, because the nature of film, it being recorded, it's exciting.
Yeah.
The newness of it is exciting. And you're basically reacting and dealing with first impulse.
Right.
So you never go, there's a part of film performance that never allows you to go very deep, in the respect that with theater, you're always revisiting.
Yeah.
And I think you can go deeper into the mind of the event, the mind of your actions, because you can consider it so many different ways when you revisit it. So for me, theater kind of develops you more completely as a person. It's more like life, in the respect that we encounter rituals all the time, whether it's eating, making love, walking in your door, getting in your car. There's things that we recognize, but if we're really mindful and if we're really living life, it's how we receive those gestures, how we attack those gestures.
Right.
And so I think that's a huge difference. I don't know what the word is philosophically, between theater and film.
Yeah. But you came to film from theater, basically, right?
I did.
And was that a big adjustment for you,
well,
to begin with?
I was lucky because the bulk of my theater experience, I went briefly to school in University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, where Ron Gural was my teacher. But that was quite brief, and I went on to do theater work that wasn't traditional theater work, wasn't necessarily psychological or literature-based theater work. It was as close to the visual arts or music or dance as it was to theater.
Yeah.
So my training was mostly approaching things from actions, doing actions.
Yeah.
We didn't really deal with attitudes or emotions or even a certain kind of craft. It was really about how you approach actions and how you deal with
and you found film
rhythms.
to be very similar to that? Yeah.
For me, yes, because somewhere in film, it's a series of actions and someone's recording it.
Right.
And usually the strongest film performers, to my eye, to my mind, I mean, when I see them perform and then I see the completed film, are usually people that are very rooted to the doing. They're concentrated. The world drops away and they fit into the world that's being created. Right. I think the camera responds to that kind of concentration, that kind of melting into the action.
Yeah, yeah.
But that holds true for theater as well. It's just in theater you have to
but you're
produce more, and I think you're the driving force. You're controlling the rhythms, where in film, so much more is about giving the editor You know, it is an editor's medium, it is a director's medium. It's about giving them material that is integrated and is whole. So any way they cut, slice it, dice it, light it,
Yeah.
it will still have a sense of truth and a sense of reality.
Right.